Yeah.
Oh, we said people's one, sorry.
Oh, this one is not
Oh,
a
that
good
one's
one.
not a good
What's the pay
one.
for college?
I'm sorry. Your kids are?
They're twins and freshmen, high school.
Oh, okay.
So we're a little early,
Yeah, we're looking
pre-reading.
forward.
Yeah, but I heard that there's like, I'm trying to learn more about the benefits of different types of savings. I heard it depends different ways in which you save for college has impacts.
Oh wow.
I know, right? This is like
Jeez.
the stuff that no one, it's like, I thought you just save and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then no, now I'm trying to learn more about the
Mm.
different types of accounts and how they look at them differently. I don't know that this book is gonna do it.
Hi, Tabby.
And I'm not sure it makes all that much difference.
Right, exactly, it's a lot.
Unless it's in, like if it's in your child's name,
Hello.
they take it all. If it's
Right.
in your name.
No,
that's
it's
like-
we did a bunch of those 529s.
Yeah.
And some of them are like, they're all,
Meet
so I'm
again.
trying to figure
We
it out.
do, that's 3
Yeah.
times this
Yeah.
week.
And voting.
Voting
And
and
the
So they go to private.
Post office.
So I'm trying to think, like,
We ran into each other at the post office.
I know.
Oh, I
It's
see.
safe. Like it's
It was like a bazillion
trying
cars.
to learn more about
Was that
it.
crazy tonight? Cause there was a game or something at the field. And it was just letting out as I was driving by.
Oh my goodness.
And then all the voting.
Well, yeah.
They
If I
see
see
anything,
the driveway,
I'll pass
those
it.
cars back to the.
Thank
It was
you.
just not.
Well,
They
there's
have me in,
people
they
like
take
you
your
can
lights, they
take
have
for
me
this
in,
stuff.
and
I'm
it's
like,
still be waiting.
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
If I can learn it myself, I don't need to pay someone.
You got some time.
Exactly.
You just don't put your children's name. Put it in your name. You know that.
Right.
Same thing. People don't even know, but we know, we recognize. the
Yeah,
post office.
The
Exactly.
game had just let out. I know the traffic was horrendous.
It was
Like I
awful.
could barely get past the.
It must be rush hour in Burlington,
Yeah.
rush hour.
Yeah. Well, they let me in, they were backed up past the church. So they knew who you were. They knew who you were.
That's it, you got a cloud, yeah.
My first ever traffic jam.
It was
It's
crazy.
It's like,
They'll give you stuff free away somewhere.
You're never
It's
gonna
backed
have to
up
change a
all the way
meeting.
down, at least as far as the
Yeah, that's
Escalade.
right.
Because they were just letting
I was waiting for
in.
someone to remember.
And I was
I
coming
thought-
by, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna go down by Belden Road and try to
Just
get out.
like the mother.
Yep.
and he was like, no, that's
Well,
all.
I'm,
There might be a cop there though, because there was a big.
Not when I went through.
Well,
Was it? What
is
is
it from
does that mean? It was,
voting? From the polls? I
well,
don't know.
it didn't seem to come from the school.
They said there was a game.
No,
that has to
no,
be
it was
done.
at the field, on the top of, what's that?
George
field?
Washington.
George Washington's field.
Oh,
Oh,
Nancy.
no,
Higgins.
Nancy
Yeah,
Higgins Field.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what they were playing,
I just
soccer.
know, I sat
Yeah,
there
it's from
trying to
like
turn into the
below the
driveway.
town hall.
Coming from.
Yeah.
All the way up in the field, they get people from
Forever.
Ireland, too.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were all coming up this, toward the green. And so I
That's
said,
the way it's
oh, I'll just cut down Belden
Go
Road.
this way.
Maybe not so much.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And I thought it was because of voting. But
No,
Because-
nobody was turning in to go vote.
there was 2 huge floodlights. They
Been
were
there,
about
done
this
that.
big, about 20 feet in the air, so I just
It's
assumed there was a
distracting.
cop there.
Yeah, no,
I didn't see one.
right.
So I made a K-turn or a U-turn. Came back and come up by the vets over here. That
Oh,
was almost as bad.
right. I was wishing I had come around the other way. Because, I'm on Stone Road, so I can go either way.
Yeah.
I was wishing I went the other way.
I couldn't get out of. Kirby Lane.
Oh, wow.
I
And
said.
you still have to get out from Stone Road. Yeah, but when you come, you still have to cross.
Somebody eventually
Right,
stopped
I
and let me
came
in.
through the
That's
forest.
how I
There was
started.
a- there was
But
a
if I
truck
came the
finally
other way
got-
and up through town, I would have had the traffic light in my face.
But still getting into here, you have to wait.
I'd have to wait,
Yeah.
but somebody would do that
As
because
I said, yeah, they let me in, they were backed up.
all the way to the S curve.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, that far.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, We were,
I don't know.
we were in town maybe 10, 15 minutes. We were at the end of the
That's
road.
what I was thinking.
Right, the end of past our road, right up to State Farm. And we wanted a dog for minutes.
One
Well, I saw 2
more,
people
That's
over the
a
weekend.
little
Is
sad.
anybody not coming in the that's it.
I haven't heard
We've
anything, yeah.
got more people in the woods than I've seen in the
Oh,
past
yeah.
10 years.
Where is this?
No, this is years ago at the end of our street,
Oh,
where the trails come together.
okay.
And, but, it's crazy talk.
What's going on? Terry.
Hey, Carrie. How are you? How are you?
Dan,
Sarah.
Sarah, okay. Possible guest, no?
Yeah, I kind of doubt it though, but, yeah.
Well, happy,
Not talking.
Oh, that's right, yes.
That's okay.
that's
Never
right.
mind.
Right. Okay.
This one, these are two.
Oh.
Jody's.
Yeah.
We are online. Oh,
Dropping the words.
are people online? You can tell.
Oh, fun.
I don't think I can tell until we end it, and then I can, because that's how it was when we did meet the candidates.
Huh.
You couldn't tell until you ended it, and they'll say how many people are watching, and then
Really?
after, yeah.
Usually, is there?
On Zoom you can, but this is
Yeah.
YouTube, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Zoom, we had a problem one night.
Yes.
Did we ever?
Scenes we didn't want to see.
Oh, geez.
We're talking about our failed Zoom.
Yeah. It was,
We had a good run.
Okay. wow.
I feel like that's like part of.
Somebody push the buttons
being
It's like a rite of passage. I
Yes.
think every municipality has it up there.
That's crazy. No. Sounds like I'll never know. I think it's probably a good thing. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, yeah, honestly.
Ignorance is bliss.
Don't want to relive the memories, so.
Good evening.
Sarah's always like,
Probably,
Especially if they-
scouts or something.
we can start
That's
this.
true. Okay.
We're gonna start, meeting, 6 o'clock, meeting starts 6 o'clock. Public comment, any public comments?
Traffic was horrendous.
What's going on?
Free gifts,
we can't figure it out.
6 o'clock, all right.
Halloween candy.
No comments, okay. Everybody have a copy of the minutes from October?
Yeah.
Comment, I have one correction.
Okay.
My name doesn't have a D in it. Saying it's Sanford. No, S-A-N-F-O-R-D.
Well, that is a D.
Well, yeah, but that's the D's at the end.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I
got
don't
it.
have a D.
There's one D, not two.
That's not additional.
Any other corrections, comments? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes? Sandy and
Second.
all those in favor?
Yeah.
Motion passed, minutes have been approved. Yes. Okay, correspondence.
We did not have any.
No correspondence, it's gonna be fast news.
Yeah.
Our person.
Ongoing business, Friends of the Library.
Was there any correspondence? I'm sorry.
There was none, yeah.
Two big events, the pumpkin pageant with the library staff, and that was very successful. And the book sale.
Book sale was $2,036.
Yes.
Good job.
We are within $14 of our budget amount. And usually their book sale for December, usually Christmas items. So we should go over last year's total. So very, book sale, very,
You haven't got to November yet.
That's right. Yeah.
Mary was happy because
I wasn't.
last year was bigger.
Yeah, last year was bigger, and we didn't have as many dealers come, and I don't know why. We speculated that it's possible we just hit it differently because Avon had theirs last week and Windsor had theirs on Saturday, and maybe they just went with the bigger libraries and didn't bother with us.
But
I
it's
don't know.
still over $2,000.
It's still over 2,000. We had good turnout from people,
Yeah.
just regular people
Yeah.
who bought
And
a
it was-
lot of things.
It was sunny and warm and comfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
One thing I want to comment on, a little kid, you see the little kids with their parents, and they are so happy. They got the books.
Oh, yeah.
Really, it's
And it's great because they can
It's
have
great.
what they see
They
pretty
can
much.
have
because they're
Yeah.
cheap.
everything, yeah.
It's one of the few places where you're not
Yeah.
told no.
Yeah, right.
Well, I would just like to commend Jody and her staff for the pumpkin pageant.
Thank you.
It was so well done. And Mary, the book sale was incredible.
We had a
What
lot
a
of-
lot of work and
Probably a lot
It
of
was so well organized.
Mm.
Over 105 people at that pumpkin.
I put 150. Yeah, there were a lot. Yeah, that's what.
It was,
The pictures are amazing.
Oh, thank you. That's Caitlin. She does a great job with that. So.
That Barbie, I just, I laughed, watched it and watched it.
so funny.
I was walking down the line of pumpkins the day after.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the first one I looked at said, that's the first place pumpkin. Sure enough, it was.
Was it?
And I'm like, good at picking out stuff.
Yeah, I think we had over 500 votes. So each person
Wow.
gets to vote
Oh,
for
yeah.
pumpkins, and we had different. This year was the first time we broke it down into categories to try to make it a little more fair. You know, that you got a pre-K going up against an adult, so we mixed it up a
Yeah.
little this year.
So not tomorrow, but next Wednesday afternoon at 1:30 is the Friends annual meeting. I'd like to go, welcome
There's,
to the town.
there's two things. We hadn't received any contributions from a mailer. But we're still over last year's total this time. We're $909 higher than we were at the same time last year. And we are gonna do a mailer to all the people that are currently members. So we should have around a little over $18,700 so far. Over the last-
Donations, I'm sorry, I
Oh,
keep hearing this
here.
dinosaur growl.
Oh,
Here.
Oh, a dinosaur, yay.
it's Dino November. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If I may
Thank you, Sandy.
put into the minutes an extra special thank you to the people who carried up books,
Oh yeah,
which
absolutely.
were Elliot Searle and the Lewis Mills volleyball, girls volleyball team. Not boys, the girls volleyball team came and carried them up.
Yeah.
And of course, all the regular volunteers were there.
Absolutely. You worked so hard, all of you. And like Sandy said, it was just so well run and well organized. And
Everybody's
Getting a little better every time,
Yeah,
but still,
yeah.
you still need the people to carry up the books.
yeah.
And you have to listen to whatever Mary tells you. You have to do it. But it works out.
There you go, take charge.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? That's right.
We've only had 35 donors this year, with our $18,000 coming in from book sale and contributions. So hopefully when we do the November, December mailing, we'll make our budget. Shouldn't be a problem.
Well, so if we haven't had anything coming from the most recent mailer, is it really wise to do another mailer?
Well,
Yeah.
at least my age group,
Yes.
people my age, we like to get envelopes with mailers, as opposed to donating online. And
Not only that, but I think that letter says like you've previously donated, because I get one even mailed to me, and I'm like, oh, I gotta write my check, you know. So I think it is a good reminder for people.
I think the mailer that went out already was so subtle, it was easy to miss.
And it was to, I think, attract new
Yeah.
donors too. So
I didn't have the envelope.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what.
we,
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
it was good to
It
learn.
was really,
yeah, it
really well
was,
done.
Yeah.
This mail, this December is actually two versions of the same letter.
Okay.
One is for life members, as they're willing to donate if we put them in the past, but the other is just people who gave last year and haven't given this year, and it reminds them that.
and last year when we did our year-end mailer, we received $6,600 from 78 people.
Okay,
So
so,
Yeah.
we know year-end is a valuable mailer.
okay,
Mhm.
We tried this one time, and we probably won't do it again this way.
okay.
It's just letters.
Yeah.
We have
It's
to
less
try it.
expensive, right?
Oh,
Smaller.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a letter.
Any comments, corrections, any more? Sandy, any?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's,
The sign.
I have nothing to report on that either. So Scott it's on his mind. We have a meeting this week to talk about some other things. So I'll inquire then, but I have nothing. It just stays there in perpetuity forever. We'll be looking at this. So.
Have you considered taking off the bottom part?
It is off.
It
It's off. We decided that a long time ago.
Oh,
yeah.
the part with
The hanging, yeah, it's just going to say Burlington Public
No,
Library.
I mean the current
Currently.
sign.
Oh, the current, we'll take it down in a few weeks for the winter. Does it
Okay.
look really dilapidated? Okay, yeah, we can. Yeah, I can let Jim know, take it down a little bit earlier, so.
I don't, I mean, I'm only one person,
No,
like,
right.
Sarah wasn't here, but the book sale, Mary, book sale over $2,000.
Oh, awesome.
She's very happy. And the pumpkin pageant was about 150 people.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
600 for that.
I haven't posted the dollar amount, but it's over $600 for the pumpkin pageant. So, we're happy with.
Pumpkin pageant looks like so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was doing my meet the candidates
Yes,
night.
I remember that, yeah. Less fun.
Less fun, but it went well. So
Different kind of fun.
different kind of fun, and now I'm going to be stopped doing it for the rest of my life.
Okay, new business.
Okay, so let's take a look at the budget.
Hold on,
Okay.
when I was going through the minutes, there was something about the card. Did they ever figure out about the card where they're gonna start charging?
That's in my report tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we are gonna get to that.
Because I was looking through trying, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they never brought that up.
It's
Okay.
coming up, yeah. Okay, so to take a look at the budget request for next year, a couple of things. One, the union has not negotiated a contract yet, so we do not have salary information, which is putting a hold not just on my union positions, but also on the non-union staff. So there's a lot of zeros there because of that. And then if we go down to reimbursement for expense, this is what I project to the town that I will take in via the cash register, which goes to the town, and then I can use it for other things. Like I bought DVDs, I'm planning on putting some of it into Hoopla. So this is just what I project, and yeah, it's my best guess based on what we've been taking in the last few months. So.
We have a total somewhere?
I have it written down somewhere else because I didn't want to put it here because I still have a lot of
Oh, okay.
zeros. For books and subscriptions, books and materials, last year, let me just pull up last year's budget. I don't know if I have that one open. Hold on 1 second. Well, we can actually see it in our budget sheet. So last year we were approved for $32,500, which was a cut. I think I had asked for 35 and it got cut back a little, but it was still an increase from 30. So this year it's modest, and this is not a done deal, but I'm requesting 36,320. So the Bristol Press, the Hartford Courant, the Bristol Press, to be honest, I don't think we're going to have around much longer. I truly hear things that paper is not long for subscription, but as I put it in anyway. And then I upped the library books to 27,500. I put in some for ebooks and Hoopla, and I put in for DVDs. If it gets cut, it's going to come out of the DVDs because that's what I would use the cash register money for. But I put it in just, fingers crossed. Consumer reports, that we just renewed in September, so it will go up slightly from that. It's been going up, I think, about like $20, $30 the past few years. And Tumble books, if we do need to make a cut to the budget and I have to take out materials, it will be Tumble books that will be eliminating. The circ for that, I don't know what went on last year when we had like this for Tumble books, but it's on the decline. There's months we see like 6 views. It's just not worth paying that much, and we now offer BookFlix, which is getting higher traffic. So if it comes down to that, that would probably be one of the things to go.
It's
So
like 12%?
of an increase,
Yeah.
let me see.
I
I
get
did
12, I
have
get
that
12,
in there.
3, I get 12.
I have 11.8.
11.8.
Yes,
Very
11.8.
likely to be rejected.
So, well, that's just for that line. My overall
Okay.
increase without salaries is about 8.25, which I don't think is too crazy. So
That's without an increase in the.
that's without
wages,
salaries.
Without
Yeah,
salaries,
that's without the
which we
salaries.
can't control.
Which I cannot. The minimum wage is going up on January 1st, which then just leads to a domino effect of now my junior library assistants are making close to my library assistants. So if I bump them up, now my library assistants are making close to my lowest paid union position. So it's fun times. The union has a meeting on Thursday. So we're hoping for some sort of resolution soon. Any questions or comments on the books and subscriptions?
I'm assuming that we're lucky if we get half of the increase. What?
I'll be, yeah, I mean, honestly, if he doesn't cut it, I shouldn't say that, if it doesn't get cut by the town from the 32.5 we're at now, I'll be like, but if they even give me a little bit more than that, I'm gonna consider it a big win, just the fact that they would be increasing the books, so.
I had a question on this. We had talked, was it last time, about the, was it cupola?
It's hoopla, yeah.
This would maintain our current cupola status?
So yes and no. I still have money from ARPA that we can use for Hoopla, plus the Friends pay a lot for Hoopla, plus we have the cash register money that I can use for Hoopla. I think there's about 7,000 in that account right now. And there is a rumor that there's more ARPA funding available, but it has to be in by December, any request. So I plan on reaching out to Darlene at the town hall tomorrow to see about putting in more, and I can put it towards Hoopla again and some other things if we think we need it. So sustaining it forever, I truly don't know. I don't know.
Where are we getting cash register money from? What is
So
that?
copies, meeting room rentals,
Oh, okay.
faxes, anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
no
get
more
to-
fines.
We get to
but-
spend it as you like, or does it have to go to the town and then we can spend it?
It goes to the town, and then we spend it as I propose and it gets approved. So I would have to say, I can't just, say, hey, use that. It has to be, I'd like to use $500 and put it in Hoopla. So it would have to get approved. But it's just for us to use. It's only in our account. So, and then, so. Nope, I think everything else I was in. So equipment contracts, this was fun because everything went up. The copier lease that's staying about the same. UniFirst, I bumped them up. This is another thing that if once a month, it used to be once a week, now I think it's once a month, and it's only if someone answers the door, if they knock, they replace the carpet. And this could certainly be something for capital where we just buy an indoor-outdoor carpet and, be done with it, but copier printing, 800. Telspan, the voicemail services went up. I think he said about 5%. He tried to put me on a better package, and I said, we get like 3 voicemails a month, and 2 out of 3 are from staff. So I think we're good. But the people counter is staying around the same. The sprinkler exit signs and extinguishers did go up a little bit, and the good news is that we just had this year a lot of our 5-year maintenance, so we don't have to pay that again. So that was a little low. It was about $9,000.
So we don't really control this.
We don't control
So
that.
it should be
No.
approved no matter what.
Yeah. The hazmat for the OSHA compliance, we had a contract for 3 years for 800. This will be our 3rd year.
What has that?
So we didn't have a binder that had all of our hazardous materials in it, which lists like what's in it and like what you would do if something happened. And that's like a huge OSHA violation. So what they do is they come and they assess all of your paints and all of your cleaning products and your, like hand sanitizer, anything, and they put it together in a binder for you. So if OSHA comes and they say, we need to see your manual for hazardous materials, you just point and then it's covered, it's put together. So,
And that's a contract you can't get out of.
well, I wouldn't want to get out of it because we would be out of compliance if OSHA ever came. Previously, the staff used to maintain it, and it was about like 8 years out of date. And what they would do is they would take every single item in the library, Crayola markers, and they would have to go on and get like all the components of a Crayola marker and what you would do and put it together in a binder. This is much better, and if something happened with OSHA, we would escape like a fine. So
I can meet with you maybe offline and talk about going forward. This
Okay.
is an area of my expertise.
Sure.
I'm a certified industrial hygienist.
okay,
So that just seems like a highway robbery.
okay, all right.
To maintain your safety data sheet binder.
I guess so. That sounds it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I can talk to you about that.
Okay, that would be great.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I have a really stupid question.
Yeah,
but,
no, by all means.
if you're careful about what you bring into the building, as the stuff we bring in for downstairs, like our hand sanitizer and our wipes, is that anything I should be worried about?
No,
Okay, they don't care.
they allow you, I think, 80, and I think with all of the building materials that are still downstairs that probably need to be disposed of, they let us go over the 80, but stuff like that is fine.
Okay.
So you have over 80 safety baby sheets?
Oh, I believe so. They said the max they allow for is 80, and they said we went over, but they didn't charge us additionally for that.
I'll
Yeah,
with you.
no, absolutely.
It's just
I can't even imagine 80 things.
Well, think like every cleaning product that Jim uses is an individual item. Every art supply in April's closet, glue, Mod Podge, hot glue, markers, paints, different types of paints, and then downstairs you've got paint cans and all sorts of stuff. So.
I think someone, you know the chances that OSHA would visit you.
Well,
like-
we had been visiting. We got hit by something a few years ago, and it was regarding that binder. So
Really?
yeah, I found like an old
Violation.
yeah. So
Okay.
let's see.
I'll meet with you.
Okay.
Discuss.
Alarm system. The alarm system isn't usually this much, but I did put a bump in to reflect any service calls we may have. There was something that needed to be reset. A wire had been disconnected. He came out, he plugged it in. 3 minutes later, he was done, and it cost like $150. So,
Sounds about right.
and then the firebox
Wrong
inspection.
business.
So, yeah.
What's the difference between, one is the copier lease and one is the copier like maintenance contract? Is that the difference between the two?
One is the lease, and the other is for prints. So,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
prints and our
If we're
toners.
only getting 3 voicemails a year, do we need voicemail?
I would say,
And
I
the
think it'd be
library's open or
unprofessional
something?
not to have a voicemail system
No.
in place. If somebody does need to reach us, and it could be that someone's on the other line and we're short-staffed, and after a certain amount of rings, it would bump the voicemail. So
Oh,
even though it doesn't get used, I would hate for someone to call and it just rings and rings and rings.
Yeah.
And then I get questions why it's doing turn the phone.
I mean, in the grand scheme,
It's
400
not,
bucks,
yeah,
it's
it wasn't
like
that
not
much,
huge.
yeah. Oh, typo here. So for Eversource, here's where the follow-up for the chargers are. I have been relaying messages back and forth with the company. They right now are waiting for someone to come out and look at our box. The hope is that they don't have to install a pole with a charging station. They want to use the existing pole that the chargers come out of and put a credit card charging payment mechanism there. So we have exchanged emails as recently as I think Friday, and I'm waiting for someone to come out and look at it. So
So right now, is it free?
it is free, yeah,
Ah.
and it is used all the time.
It's
Sundays, now, midnight,
Weekends.
weekends, always,
Yeah.
always.
Do you have any discretion as to how they charge? Because there's 2 different ways to be charged. One is by the actual amount of charge. The other is the time. So
Mm.
if you just, it takes hours because it's it's a glacial charge.
Yeah, and I think a newer model would probably charge quicker than an older one, so I think it
Yes.
should be based on how much they're using rather than how long the
Right,
duration.
because if you're not there to pull it out, my son-in-law was telling me that.
Yeah.
If you're not there to pull it out instantly, you keep getting charged. So if somebody comes at 11 o'clock at
Yeah.
night and leaves it all night,
Yeah,
they're gonna be charged a huge amount of money.
right, as opposed to how much they use, yeah.
Yes.
I will ask that when they come.
Shouldn't this be a town
versus-
problem more than ours?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even.
When did
we
you
didn't
get
want
them?
it here.
It's been
Prior
a
to
while.
me,
Prior to
so,
It's-
town, we ran this through the town. They were all, the only criteria when we got the grant to put that in was that it be within like a quarter of a mile of a donut store or a restaurant or a mall or someplace where people could wait.
okay,
Which is why
gotcha.
they didn't put one down at the town hall. Because that would have been the obvious place to put it.
Right, right.
But the-
What fun is that?
Yeah,
Hang out at the you hang out at the recycling center.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
as far as I know,
It was something that had been delegated to Marie and has been redelegated to me. She was in the works talking back and forth with them a few years ago.
Yes, she
So, and then
was.
I think it kind of fell by the, wayside. Other things came up and then it kind of popped up again. Hey, how about you do this now? So I'm just
So whatever
Take
they
it over.
propose, it should go to the town, let them
let them.
decide, right? So we don't get stuck with,
Okay.
that's,
So,
well, with the bill, or somebody sues us or whatever. We have to,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully by next month, I'll at least have had the conversation with them about setting it up and then we can talk about it before it goes to
So
Don.
tell the town if the board is
Yeah.
concerned.
Okay.
I think the important thing to know is that we didn't start this, the town did.
It's something the
This
town-
was, this
Yeah.
was their baby.
The
And
EV
they were
charger,
told they
yeah.
couldn't have it at town hall.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why it was put here, but this
Yeah.
was never supposed to be anything that we had
Any
I
control
agree on
over.
that, yeah.
any control over. We're not supposed to pay for it.
Well, we are paying for it.
I
but
know,
yeah,
and we're
yeah.
not supposed to, because
Yeah.
that was not the deal.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, it's getting to a point now. It never used to be a problem, but now it's kind of like becoming a headache because more people are driving EVs, and I'm starting to get a lot of like, they're there all the time, and I want to be able to call, and then people saying like, I see people plug in and then they walk away, and I don't want my tax dollars to pay for this. So it is getting a little
Well, one thing you should,
noticeable.
you
People
should
are
ask the town, I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting money from the state.
I think the grant expired. I think there
Oh, yeah,
was,
But
yeah.
continue,
yeah.
right, well, continue, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. if-
So, and I would push this to the town as well, because there is concern, those grants come with stipulations.
Yeah,
We are not, as a library board, aware of those stipulations. There could be a time period by which you may or may not charge
right.
based
It was
on.
up to,
Yeah.
I think it was up to you, you couldn't do it for, I'm gonna guess 3 years.
I
I
think,
thought it
yes.
was-
After you put it on, after you
Yes.
put it in, you couldn't charge, I mean, when we got this, I went to Canton, this Canton happened. And we talked to DPW, because he was the one that was in charge of it. And they said they never saw their bills go up, ever. And they'd had it for about a year. But that was
Oh,
Before
yeah,
the big-
yeah.
5, 6, 7 years
That was
ago.
a long
That
time
was-
ago.
And
Yeah.
they needed
Where
it-
not
and
as
they
many
needed it at
people
the same
had
time
it
they put
either.
solar panels on all the buildings too. It was
Oh,
all part of one big
I
project,
think
so.
too, the first selectman is very particular on expenses. And so this should be an expense that
Yeah.
he should be concerned about if there's a
He
problem.
probably doesn't know the history. That, I mean, we had nothing to do with
Right,
it.
Yeah.
right.
Well, if I get the information from them, I'll set something up and I'll have you come
Yeah,
with me
yeah,
and we
yeah.
can discuss it.
The
So,
town service they're offering for
Yeah.
a benefit for the town
yeah,
people. And
Craig is the one that did all the work.
yeah. Okay, that sounds good. We'll discuss it.
The
And,
only,
yeah.
the only thing that, the town did was furnish some, manpower to dig a trench.
gotcha.
We
Okay,
scheduled an electrician, we hired, the town hired an electrician, I went through some quotes,
yeah,
and we got an electrician to do it. The only thing we were liable for was if it goes off, to allow somebody in to flip the breaker to
Yeah.
reset it.
yeah,
That is it.
Yeah.
That was our total, because we had a couple of times where some of the cords just,
it
pulled
still
out,
happens. Yeah,
and there was some
yeah,
damage done to it.
yeah, yeah,
And that was one of the reasons here, and when I came down, I saw it,
yeah.
talked to her about it, she said, we already know about it, and she said, I called the town.
Yeah.
We had the number of the guys that we got it from.
Yes, yeah,
so I get the impression that the board is concerned that we should know more.
yeah. No,
Well,
for sure.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
town, it's a town plus,
Well,
Okay.
it's not a library.
I will,
Yeah.
I'm hoping to hear back from them soon. I don't know, they don't seem very eager to respond to me, but once I do, I'll make sure we all, you
Tell them
know.
the board is concerned. It's
I,
not- it's
yeah,
not
I
you.
will,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll-
Yeah, we'll move faster.
I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily say that we should know more about it. I think that the town needs to know more
Yes,
about it. And
right.
they're the ones who need to realize they have to take responsibility and be like, yes, it's in front of the library, but that has nothing to do with the fact that it's the town's thing. And they need to handle that. They need to take care of that. They need to do.
It's in our electric bill, that's the
It
only
is,
thing.
yeah, which is
I mean,
really not, yeah, that's,
We can
well, even the field, the light in the field across. You know.
we can use some of that printer money to make a big sign that says this belongs to the town. Go complain to town hall.
We're gonna
They're
shut
right-
it off.
they're right down the
Shutting it
street.
down.
Oh, God.
So wasn't it our understanding that we were gonna get reimbursed for the electricity by the town? We weren't supposed
So
to.
they have to,
Yeah.
have to have a separate meter on it.
That was an option, I think, way back when we got it, but it wasn't. you
Well,
couldn't-
because it was 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, that then it was gonna go to a credit card and that was gonna take care of the expense.
I wonder, because Craig, you had mentioned 3 years, and I wonder if that was it, because it probably was like 2 years ago or so that Marie had been working on it. So you figure that was probably right around the time that
We've
it
had
went
that
up.
for,
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I have to look up, and it's gotta be 5 years.
Yeah, and I think it was probably right around the 3-year mark that
Yeah.
Marie was looking into putting the charging station on
I
it,
have a
so.
question then, if they do a credit card on it, who's that money gonna go to?
Wow, yeah, I mean,
Is that
it's
the
supposed to
town-
come back
Town
to,
money, or is that the
Yeah.
people that put up the?
well, I think it comes back to, it gets reimbursed to us, the credit card, because but whether we get it for our electric bill or it goes to general,
Then there'll be
yeah.
questions of people getting billed for that, and
Yeah.
they wanna know if they wanna talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be,
right?
it's not going to be a happy transition once
No,
it starts
no,
charging,
no.
but with that being said, it's been a long time of people being able
And
to
it's the
charge.
kind of thing you have on a gas station, that's their
Yeah.
problem.
But you're gonna get the complaints
Oh,
unless you,
100%, yeah.
wash your hands of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for
You know,
sure.
It's gonna be, why did I get charged this much?
Yeah, I need a
Blah, blah,
sign.
blah.
Yeah. Oh, there would need to be
Yeah,
notice
that's-
going up for sure for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will hopefully hear back from them soon this week, and then we'll have lots to talk about next
Yeah,
month.
okay.
So,
Go
Okay.
talk to Doug.
so
That's what the sign should say.
for the water, let me see where we're at for last year. Aquarian water, yeah.
So what is that?
That's our water bill. So it used to be Torrington Water Company, so now it's Aquarian.
So it was 2,000.
Yeah, so we bumped it up a little. That has stayed pretty steady.
So we don't have a well, like the rest of Burlington?
Yes, we do, but we can't use it.
Oh.
We capped it when we did the expansion.
The water in the main up at the town line was polluted. And the pollution came all the way, they don't know how far.
Gotcha.
That's why we have the.
Part of the other issue is with a fire suppression system, you
Um,
need water supply.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
all
unless,
right.
unless we wanted to put another well in, and you don't know if you're gonna get the amount of gallons you need and so forth and so on. And Torrington was putting a water pipe down before, we just had to spur off.
Gotcha. Okay,
The town's on that too, isn't
I'm up to date now.
I think they
it? I think
are.
I think all
they
the
do
town
do
buildings are. I know the
Aquarian,
historical society.
Yeah.
is.
So for HOCON, last year we budgeted for 9,500. Doug had actually asked me to cut that from what I had originally put in last year because we're not using as much propane as we have in the past. We actually use less than what we had thought for last year. The reason behind this is that the fireplace, we don't just put it on and leave it on now. It's really only on if somebody requests it. So that was decided that it was using up a lot of the propane and causing that line to go, be causing a lot of money to be spent from the fireplace. So we're just gonna keep doing that this year, and if people request it and they would like it on, we'll put it on. But it really does not throw off heat to heat the library. It's more for ambiance. So
One thing I understand in the past, anything we did for electricity, heat, water,
yeah,
whatever you put in the budget, if it goes over that, the town gives it to you. It
yeah.
doesn't have to come out of anything else.
It's true, but I did put more because I think it would be short-sighted to say, I don't
Right.
expect oil to go up, it's improving, so I did put a little bit more in, but he might say, cut it from there because
We
you're
have,
not
we have no
spending,
control.
so.
over it.
yeah.
So I understand, it doesn't have to come up.
You're right, yeah, no, that's for sure.
Is yours that way too when you do your budget?
I don't have any facilities costs at all in my budget,
Oh, no. you like
which I
that.
am very thankful for.
Uh,
Yeah, because it's a shared facility, they decided it was too hard to parcel it out from the
Okay.
different departments, so it is 100% not my problem.
I
and
like
love it.
hearing, I like hearing.
It's fair.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's a roof leak and no problem.
So for building expenses, we've got Train, they have not given me an amount for our contract yet, which is why it's yellow. They do know I'm looking for it. They said, this is 9 months out. And I said, well, listen, I need the number. So last year we were paying around 3,900. So I bumped it up just, to reflect the cost of increase. So I put in 3,000 for any unscheduled training visits to address issues. In the last year and change, I've not, knock on wood, emphatically, have had them come out once for an unscheduled visit for a problem. So fingers crossed, we continue that because that's like an insane amount for when they come out. Snow removal, I just got the quote today. In the past, he had told me he charges by the season, but this time he itemized it as by the storm. It went up slightly from last year, I think about $100. So I've got $155 per storm that he'll charge, and that does not include the salt that we get from town. And Scott hasn't given me that number yet, but last year was 800, so I factored that in.
Is that just for the parking areas?
That is for all the spots and the sidewalks. The town will do the driveway,
Uh-huh.
but D&B does the spots, like the actual lots and salts everything, salts and sands. And I will say I've been happy with them. I think there was one really big storm that it was a disaster and I was out there shopping, but other than that, they are saying it's supposed to be a really snowy winter. Hopefully that's not true. But so for custodial supplies, I put in 1,000, which I think is what I had for last year. This is for garbage bags, paper towels, etc. We now have a contract with Amazon, and I'm working on the town getting me some sort of credit card so I can start using a credit card to buy things on Amazon. The prices for their brand of products is significantly lower. Like I think the toilet paper we were saving maybe like $20 per box. Copy paper was about half the price of what Quill is charging. So I'm leaving the supplies the same, figuring that I will be able to get a better discount than what I'm getting for Quill. So septic pump, we are due for that this year. She said as of right now it's $450. I think she said it was like $425 or something, right around there. So I put $450 in case it went up. And then we've got 2 licenses that we'll have to get for the dumbwaiter and the boiler.
So I'm curious because last year we were at 11.5, but now we're at 10,980. So I mean it's good. It went down, but I'm just wondering why it went down overall. You said that you had bumped stuff up.
It's possible that I moved something out and put it somewhere else. Let's see. Let's see what I had last year.
Yeah, say there, where we see the different years.
Yeah, see
So
that
it's-
says building maintenance is 10,510, but on this it says 11,500.
I think you're still at 24. You want 23, right?
No, I want 24. 10, 5, 10.
So,
and then
septic tank is, what's everything last year?
septic, yeah, we didn't have the septic tank. Let's see. Snow
And snow
went up.
removal went up.
That one up. Oh, I don't have the ice melt in here, I don't think. Let me see.
Well, but that's what I mean though, is that this one even is 10,510, but on the sheet here it says 11,5. So why don't those match?
I don't know.
Okay.
11 on here for building
Because that's, I
maintenance.
mean, that's $1,000.
Just kind of,
This was my draft that I sent to Doug last year, so changes were made on this.
okay.
So this is what the actual numbers are. So it's
Right.
possible that he bumped it up and said
Okay.
put more money. This was just my draft. So I don't know if he had bumped it up without seeing with the
Okay.
other sheets that come back.
All right. I'm just curious.
Okay, so where did we leave off? Water heat. Oh, telephone. I put a little bit more into this one for the phone. That's going up every year. The bill does increase. So computer services. So right now I do not have a number for our consortium fees. Sarah, when's the meeting? Next Friday? Okay. Yeah, I was told that hopefully we'll know a little bit more about the consortium fees. So right now, I just left them as what they were last
So you
year.
didn't get one yet either?
No, and it'll most likely be very close to
Similar,
that, if not
yeah.
a little lower.
Yeah, this is gonna be great, so. Novus is going up a little bit more, there was a slight increase on that. And our CEN, actually, I just talked to them and we don't need that, so, that will be staying the same for CEN, for our fiber. Supplies, I kept supplies at what they were, oh no, last year they were 4,200. We did bump that up. I think we had met and we had asked for a little bit more for that. So, but with the Amazon discount, I'll probably end up just keeping this at 4,200 and saying it's staying the same. So, all right. 20, would that be nice? Okay. So for programs, I am asking for an increase in programs for next year. It's just getting very, very expensive to get a performer in. The prices are going up by several $100s is what we're noticing for a children's performer or really anyone that's coming in. So, and we also do use this for not just the performers, but supplies. So if a staff member needs, Mod Podge and tea lights or whatever, the friends pay for it, but we also do use this money. So I bumped it up a little and I will split it evenly between the three departments.
Right now, we didn't run in the past, but right now, I give them the totals for every category,
Yeah.
for the three categories, so they know what gets used and where the money's going. Before, it was just a total.
Yeah. And then we just got our renewal for our CLC membership today, and it stayed the same. Constant Contact, Canva stays the same, and I have two MLS staff members that have a CLA and an ALA membership.
Can you get a free Canva account? Try it, because ours is.
I will. We did try, and they wouldn't let us do it. I sent.
Oh, and see, we did.
Yeah.
I just said we were a public library.
I did. I sent in
so-
the tax exempt and everything. I got denied twice, and I think Kristen got
Really?
denied for the friends. But I can try again. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so.
because ours went through no problem at all.
No,
so.
we tried that I think 2 years ago and started using it all the time. So I can be free. Yeah, they denied it twice. Nonprofit, but I can ask.
I feel like they must have updated how they feel about
I hope.
they must
yeah.
have had a lot of problems with libraries.
Mhm.
Because like I say, I put it off for a long time. And then when I finally did it, I was like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, no, I
So-
remember we did it like twice. I think Kristen did, but I will definitely do that again. So, and that's it. So the total without the salaries and any changes that were made just now came to 154,096. It's an 8.21% increase from last year, where I asked for 142,400 without salaries.
Did they give you a number on what they would like?
No. I think they would like zero.
Yeah.
That's not.
Negative.
Is it? Yes. I think this is pretty modest, and I think it will still address the things that we need.
What's your, the date that they'd like to post?
I want to say it's next week. It's soon. Yeah.
That's after they get the,
Well, I don't know that they are in mediation at this point.
okay.
So if that doesn't work, the next stage is arbitration. So they just said do it without the salaries, and the salaries will be put in after. So
Anybody have any questions? If like to increase anything? I would.
It would be nice to increase everything, but that's not an option.
yeah, I think this is reasonable. It's asking for a slight increase in programs and materials, and I'm hoping it shows good faith that we're not just asking for, a ton of money to buy books or whatever, but
I think everything sounds modest to me. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd increase salaries too, but I just say, a
That's-
lot of it's union. So
Yeah, and
I
I'm-
have no control.
I'm
over it.
really hoping they're working on that. As for capital, Scott's gonna come down. I know this was something Marie had wanted to do in the past. It is so dark in children's middle school and new books. It's to the point where you really have trouble seeing over there. So I'm gonna have Scott come down and see about if his crew could put some lights in, how much it would cost. And I'd like to ask for that for our capital money. And I'd like to also consider a shed for outside for the capital. So any thoughts on that?
So what would you store in the
Yeah,
shed?
yeah.
We've got a lot of things, like we call it the pit. in the basement where it's become a dumping ground. So you can see down there holiday things in tubs. Part of our ARPA money was to get some storage tubs so we could put things in there. I'd like to free up some space downstairs, so we're working on the new book, or excuse me, the adult fiction. We had talked about this before, I'm running out of space, so Jasmine is working on a list of authors and titles that we can recatalog and put in storage. So I don't have storage except for the basement, but if we can put some books downstairs, that way if somebody has a request on it, we can just easily access it and not trip over Christmas trees and old sand tables and things like that.
You wouldn't have heat or light, wouldn't, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly with that, because there's stuff that's down there
Yeah.
that would be very hazardous to carry upstairs over
Yes.
and over again. It's
Yeah.
hazardous to have it down there.
It is, and yeah,
It's
no, for
hazardous
sure.
To have
Still
people
storing
carry it.
town records and all that.
We are, yeah, yep, yes.
Maybe they could pay for this.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, Doug is working on possibly partnering with the McCall Center about starting up, I think it's called Safe Harbor, was that the organization in town with high school kids?
Yeah.
And he'd like to use this as a space, and can they keep XYZ there? And I said, sure, how about getting us a shed? And then we can be the space and you can get a shed to store some of your stuff in. And we seemed open to that. So it is possible that maybe have.
So I guess that's with the town records. Are there any requirements as far as the environment then?
Oh, they have to be downstairs.
Those have
Yeah,
to
they
stay
are,
downstairs.
yes, we could not.
So
move those.
those would.
They're locked up. We don't even have
Years
access
and
to them.
years and
Yeah, oh yeah.
since time and time.
Yeah,
Okay.
behind, yeah, but that stays there and, yeah, so.
You
So-
mentioned excess chemicals down in the basement. Can we put in money to get rid of them?
Well, yes, I do, they will take them for me. It's a lot of things that I've talked to Scott about, it's just a matter of getting him to send someone up. And I try not to,
I get that, but I mean, is that something like we could put here, like to contract someone to do?
we could, and I had asked about getting a dumpster and getting all that stuff out of there, and that's when it was suggested to me that he could do it instead. So, yes, I could put it in and say we want to have like a service come out, but that they're just going to say that again. So, he's been very helpful. I try not to, rock the boat too much. So,
So if you have these bins out in the shed, right, so me, I'll just go on record, I'm terrified of mice. How do you keep your rodents out of the shed?
oh, well, if you get like those storage tubs that like the Rubbermaid where they lock in place, kind of.
Does that work? Anybody else
Yeah.
know? That works?
Yeah, they can't shoot through.
I don't think we wouldn't want to get that like cheapo kind of rust on top, and you want the kind you put it out and you like snap.
They
it
have
on.
ones actually that are airtight.
Yeah,
We've been getting
yeah.
for our
Oh, yeah.
basement at home.
Just no cardboard boxes. Basically.
No,
And
no,
you'll-
no
you'll be good
books,
to go.
nothing like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I will invite you to go look at the pit sometime. You'll see there's just some chairs, like old wooden chairs that sometimes we need them. Sometimes a chair breaks and we say go grab one from the pit and we have it.
That's a kit, right?
Yeah,
The loving pit, got it.
the pit. It's
Where's the stairwell here?
in the workroom, the staff workroom. Yeah. So, okay. Anything else on
So
this?
the capital item so far is just the shed and maybe the.
And I think the lights are a huge priority. Is anyone, any other thoughts for
As
that?
long as they're gonna work on those lights, how about the lights in this end there? Adults.
Oh,
as
yes,
well.
yes, towards you get to the end, yes.
Yeah.
And I know they did change them out to LED, but something about like those grates that are over it, I think it blocks a lot of the light. But yes, anywhere where it's dark. I'd love a motion light for down here because when we leave at night, it's pitch black for the staff and we should not have to have a flashlight on our phone. It's a
No.
safety issue. So, and there needs to be a motion light down there. So I'll put that, add that to some motion lighting.
You do both ends of the children's wing?
Oh, yeah, yes, by the bathrooms and all the way. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Next thing.
Where are we here? Where are you?
Budget, we're in the budget and Google is next.
I think you're looking at the minutes, Sandy. Yeah, that was from last the minutes from last month.
Statistics.
Like, that's not the
Oh,
agenda.
oh,
This
right.
is the agenda.
Oh, yes, okay.
Statistics.
Come on.
Other than that, with the budget for this year, stop looking at that because it's making my eyes cross. With the budget for this year, we're doing really well. Junior library assistant, I'm not gonna keep repeating it every month. It's up. It's going to be high because we had people filling in this summer, and it's going to be even higher with the wage increases. So they know about that. I would like to ask Doug for more hours for Alex and for Scott. Scott's getting 8 hours a week for the Burlington room, and Alex is at 23 hours right now for team. And I'd like to ask for some more hours for both of them, at least 4. So. But other than that, everything's well on track with that. So. All right, statistics. Let me get my notes here. My notes on my statistics. So once again, we saw an increase in downloadable materials. There was an increase not only in the amount of materials downloaded, but also how many users are taking advantage. So I am going to look into requesting, I mentioned, more ARPA funds for Hoopla to see if that'll work or they'll allow it. I did reduce Hoopla to nothing over $3.99. No one's noticed, so knock on wood. And I did speak to another library director who did end up canceling Hoopla for their town. She said out of everybody that was using it, there was just one person that inquired as to why, and she sent me the letter that she shared with them. And I really don't want to have to stop it though, because I feel like other libraries have so much more, and this is something that we can offer that keeps us, in line with what they're doing. So I'm hoping we can make it work. But there's something new on Hoopla, Sarah. I just saw, are they doing like Sudoku and
Yeah, there's
word
some kind of game
puzzles?
thing. Yeah.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know what.
So, well, before anyone knows about it, I might tell them to get it out of here.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
thinking about
that is
knocking it back to just audiobooks
Really? Okay,
because
yeah.
that's what gets used by
Yeah.
far the most.
That's same with us. And what I did say, so, think about taking it out of canceling being able to use the movies, the music, and the TV. There's so few people
It
that
won't
are
actually
using it.
save
That's
much,
what she said. So,
Mhm.
okay. So we are also seeing an increase in library card registrations, which is very exciting. We had 36 this past month, and that's compared to 22. We didn't do it today. We had a little bit of staffing shuffle today, but next year during the presidential election, we will have a table at Town Hall for library cards. So we're getting put with the Girl Scouts, so we can't be inside. Hopefully it's a warm day, but we will be doing library cards next
Yeah,
year.
but you'll be right next to the cookies.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta balance
I-
it
I
out.
mean,
There
come
you
on.
go.
like that's not a bad place to be.
So for programs, if you look at the numbers, I couldn't be more pleased with everything that's going on. And I feel like I talk about the programs, but I want to recognize the staff a little bit tonight. Jasmine, she's our adult services librarian. Not only has she been working on weeding the adult fiction collection, but she's also doing that huge undertaking of what can be put, how many of Danielle Steele's books do we really need on the shelf as opposed to storage. So that's a really big task that she's taken on. And also we've been talking about how we're going to attract the age demographic that we're not getting, which is a younger adult who's not coming here with children. So she is going to be starting up a monthly D&D club, and we have a volunteer who's going to be our dungeon master. And she is also working on a contemporary fiction book club that will start in the winter and meet monthly. So we're hoping with some of those ideas, we're going to start attracting a different age group that is being neglected with our programming. So April, she's like a celebrity in this town. I just go anywhere in Burlington with April, and man, I feel like you're with like the Rolling Stones. She's like a celebrity. But she right now is working on a grant with the Connecticut Humanities that will enable the children's department to host a theater troupe for 2 programs.
Oh, wow.
One will be held during Take Your Child to the Library Day in February, and the other will be for the homeschool program group that she runs in the spring. So she's working on that. Her programs continue to have high attendance, And she comes up with the most, I don't even know where she gets these ideas from. They are so creative, so out of the box, so fun. And she's not only doing all that, but she's finding ways to keep families engaged while they're just hanging out in the children's department. There's scavenger hunts, there's tangrams, there's just the displays are phenomenal. She is just such an asset to this library. So we're also looking to upgrade some of the toys in her department, and we will be getting a new train table and train set through some money from the funds that we have. So the microdesis money. So.
Some more funds, some more separate funds.
Yes, we had some microdesis money. I think we're going to use it to get a new train table. So that's the money that was left for Mike. We were able to do so many things here, and the children's department really benefited too with the kitchen. So now Alex, I don't know if you've had a chance to meet Alex. She has only been working here for a few months, and she has brought that teen department to where I hoped it would be after being here for a year. It's phenomenal. She only works 23 hours a week. I don't know how she manages to do it, but her programs are not only attracting teens, but they're retaining teens. We're starting to see the same kids coming for every program, and they just like hanging out with her and interacting with her. She did a program on potion making the other day, and that room was packed. As much as she is able to, she's running programs in that teen department. She wants it to feel like it's their space and they're not being shuffled down to the community room and everything. This is their area. So I've gotten so many compliments. People have complimented her programs and the attendance on social media. The parents are talking about her. What she's doing with the school. She took her notebook and walked away from me the other day and came back an hour later after just a really casual conversation with a patron about doing something for older teens. And she has plans to go to a professional development meeting at Mills to start collaborating with the schools there. She has ideas for like a mentorship for early high schoolers, being partnered up with like an older high schooler kid who can kind of give you, the ins and outs. She's working on something on Zoom where we can have kids who are in college do like a behind the scenes of the dorm and college life with upcoming college. She is phenomenal. She has also started a partnership with the media specialist in both the high school and the middle school. Once Kelly, who is the media specialist at Mills, is back from maternity leave, they are starting a social justice book club at Mills, and she is talking with the media specialist at Harbor for a graphic novel book club, and those will be done at the school. So we will have a presence in the school. She goes up once a month, spends a few hours hanging out, just getting to know the teens, talking to them. She was like a diamond to find for after that position for so long, being open filled. She has just been phenomenal. Scott is about halfway through his photo scanning project. He just got his overhead scanner the other week, and he's going to start scanning large pictures and maps soon. I was talking to Kristen about the photos, and this will come up at our friends meeting. We want to have like a gallery in the community room. We'll print the photos out. People can come and see them. They'll be up for about a month, and then people can buy them. And then we get rid of the overhang of them, the mixed tiles, and hopefully make some money. And we've also been working, Scott and I, on selecting some pictures for a postcard fundraiser where people can buy historical images of Burlington postcards, as well as a puzzle, because rumor has it people like puzzles, Mary. So we want to do a historical image of Burlington, and it would be not printing them ahead of time. It would be people would purchase them and then we could order them, and that way we don't have a bunch of stuff to go in the pit in a couple of months. So. And Caitlin, I don't know if you ever go on her Instagram, even if you're not a social media person, please just go on and see what she does. Her creativity, it blows me away.
It is so love to hide her. I really would. I'm telling you.
We all were like, when's the Mr. Bones video coming? When's the Mr. My family, we were having a birthday party for my daughter, and that video came on. She stopped celebrating because she wanted to see the Mr. Bones video. Wow. It's just so, and it's not just that, she's marketing the library in so many creative ways. And Christy and Marjorie and everybody else, I feel terrible. Jim, who I might be forgetting, they are just total assets to this library. And Marjorie and Zoe are working out phenomenally. No, Melissa and Zoe as our new junior library assistants. I get a compliment, I would say, at least several times a week about how wonderful the staff is here. That's what I hear more than anything.
It's wonderful.
So I hope you all know how hard they all work, and you all know we don't.
Okay.
So the fact that they keep coming back, I'm forever grateful. So.
Remember that time, May, I told you, we had a patron come from out of state, and she gave us $100 check, we were so happy with the staff.
Wow.
Ooh, get more of her.
Yes. Did she buy any books while she was here?
Oh, that's okay, even $100.
Yeah, that was a comment on the check.
Is it really nice?
The staff was so helpful.
Yeah, they're wonderful. Honestly, everyone who comes in the door gets greeted. They, service with a smile. I know it's a cliche to say, but they really do.
Yeah.
They show that they enjoy working here. So
Right.
they're either very good actors or they're really are.
And when you ask a question, they come out from behind the desk and really help you find what you're looking for.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, and because I spent so much time at that bookcase, I hear them all the time. It's like amazing, whether it's by phone or in person, just helping people out so much.
I'm waiting for the
You know.
next display, the display case to go up.
I know.
I know.
We have an idea for that. We want to do kids can write a little couple sentence essay on why their collection should be featured, and they will be our featured collector of them. They could be an adult too, but if you have someone at home who is really into Legos and they want to show off their rock collection, anything that they're really proud of, and we'll feature them and do a little spotlight. So that's it from my end, unless anyone has any questions for me about anything else.
So I had a couple of questions on that side. So one thing that I've noticed, not really personally, but from a couple other people, is there seems to be some errors in the inventorying system.
What do you mean by that?
The check-in and check-out. So, for example, you check out a book
Mhm.
and then it kind of vanishes, and it's like this was never checked out. And it's like, no, it was checked out, had it at home, and now brought it back. And the opposite happens as well. You bring a book back, and it says, okay, you've got it back, but then it says you still have this book. It's late.
I don't know about that. I will say sometimes things don't get checked out, and I like to affectionately call it operator error when people use self-checkout. I tell you more times than not, you see people scanning the ISBN on the back and not the barcode. But as for going in and out, we don't have RFID pads here, so every book gets scanned. So when you're at the desk, you're very unlikely to walk out with a book that hasn't been checked out unless you self-checkout. And as for coming in, I mean, it is certainly possible every now and then we do miss a book and it doesn't get scanned in.
But you say
But-
they do have the slip though.
Yes,
They have the slip so when it happens.
They have a
Yeah,
slip
but-
showing that it was checked out.
Right.
but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is that
I think you'd have to show me a specific example
Yeah.
because I have never had anyone come and say, I checked this out, but it's not on my account. I've had people call and say, I returned this book and it's saying it's still on my card, and errors do happen, but I've never heard of someone saying, I checked this out, it's on my slip, and when I go home, it's not on my.
So my wife did it yesterday.
Well, what happened exactly?
So it was actually a new book. It was a book about charcuterie boards.
Yeah.
That she had for like a couple of months, just kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
But again, it was a new book, so should have been returned quite a while ago.
Well, did she use self-checkout
Nope.
or?
No, went to
I
the
don't
counter. It was checked out. It was on her account. Brought it.
No, because she came back today and I checked her book and it said not checked out. So it had never gotten checked out.
But that's what I mean is that it was checked out.
But was there a record that said she had checked it out? Was it on?
Yes.
her- I would have to see that to
But
look at
that's
that.
what I mean is that it said that it was checked out, and then.
But without
suddenly it
seeing
wasn't.
that, I don't know. I can't confirm that it was. Like if you had the slip,
seems
I
like
could
a-
look it
like a
up,
System
but-
error, like a upgrade
Yeah.
or something.
Right, but it makes me worry about it because it's two sides of the same coin, right? Because then you have if a book gets checked out and then for whatever reason that checkout record vanishes, then it's now the patron is no longer technically liable for bringing the book.
I've never seen that happen.
I've-
Sarah, have you seen that happen? I mean,
No.
certainly we've not checked items in. That does happen. That's
Yes.
an
Yeah.
act-
You know,
But
that's a separate thing. Though, right?
Have
Yes.
you experienced that?
No, and I would say that if it's something where like you have the slip in front of you and it says this is checked out and then it's not showing up in your account, like we need to know the barcode numbers and everything. 'Cause we can troubleshoot that from the back end, but we can't do it if we don't have like the specific
Right.
information.
Right, of course. It's just I just wanted to bring it up to try and figure it out.
I can reach out to Sam, but I've never experienced that. I've seen people
Yeah, I mean,
not check
we have
books
some
out.
weird computer things that go on
Yeah.
from time to time, but that's not one that I've heard before.
I will say for certain people who use self checkout, there are errors there sometimes.
Well, I mean that makes sense.
But I've never heard of.
like for the employees to do it, that it makes less sense.
I've never had anyone aside from this woman now say that that's happened, but certainly we have had people not have items checked in. So I don't know.
So I guess then for that side of the coin, for people where you bring the book back and I checked it back in, but it says I didn't. How is that handled?
If you say you brought a book back and it says it's still in your account, the first thing we would do is we would look to see if it's on the shelf. And if it's on the shelf, we apologize sincerely and profusely and check it back in and waive any fines or bills or anything. But, I will say there's many more times that a person says they brought something back and they just didn't.
Of course.
Yeah,
So-
because it miraculously
Yeah.
shows up in the book drop.
Yeah,
couple days later.
yeah, right, right.
And yeah, that's just a human error thing. I mean that happens.
And that's
But we all you have the same thing, you do the same thing we do where we have like if we don't find it when we first go look, we write it down and then we have other staff.
Yes,
go
we
look,
do. And
so
usually
give
what we
them
do
all-
in the meantime is we extend the due date and we just recommend that everybody check again at home, check in the car,
Yeah.
but,
Check under the nightstand.
all
yeah,
that stuff.
then,
Under the bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
but the
Behind the
books
car
not
seat.
being checked out, I can
Yeah,
reach out to
check underneath
SCI,
the
but I've
seat.
never seen that,
Yeah, if
so.
it happens again, we'll bring it in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that happen, but I
Yeah.
can certainly ask
Yeah, and
Sam about that.
I can't imagine that it's a common thing to see, but
I
it was just
know.
a
Yeah,
just
I mean, it's
very
definitely possible that there could have been like a one-time weird glitch for some
glitch,
reason.
yeah, of some sort. I mean, and I would think that maybe only because it was a brand new book, like maybe it
Yeah.
wasn't registered properly in the system, maybe the database hadn't refreshed, something
Yeah.
along those lines. I don't know.
No,
But-
right, they're gonna change the number or something like that in the system. yeah.
Maybe it's yeah.
I
have
don't know,
no
once you
idea.
catalog it, you scan it in and you save it, and that's the barcode.
Yeah,
you
and
know, it
other
won't
in other
save
libraries,
it.
like we can't, like I can't go in and edit any of
No.
Jody's things, so I can't like accidentally delete
No,
a record.
yeah, yes, like if I'm deleting a book and I scan and we're right on top of Canton, I can't accidentally delete their old battered copy of something instead of mine, it won't let me, so, yeah, I don't know. I can certainly see what Sam has to say.
One thing, the budget is exactly where it should be, 34% for the time of year. So, right, and that's even paid with paying the service ahead of time.
Yes, yeah,
So we're doing good, the budget looks.
thank you.
Upcoming events,
Upcoming events, we have a few things left for November. Christy is working on getting a calendar out for winter. She's working on it actually this week. So we're hoping we'll have it out, not next week, but the following week. But we've got a couple more book clubs coming up. April has some more Dine November programs. Alex is going to be starting, I just see this on here, so I want to talk about this a little bit, a lit kit where almost like those subscription boxes that you can sign up for, but instead you're signing up for a lit kit and she'll pick a book for you. You'll take a little survey about what you like, this and that. She'll pick a book for you, box it up with some treats, and then you pick it up and then return it and you can do it again. So yeah,
Is
she's
that
got
for all
a-
ages?
That's just for teens right now, Terry, but I will put a bug in Jasmine's ear, so. But that's an excellent point, Terry.
So
She does so much.
I also I don't see it on the calendar. When does D&D start?
That's in our winter session, and we don't have that calendar right
Wait, is
yet.
that only for adults or is that teens?
Right now, it's Jasmine's doing it, so it's just considered an adult program. It is on here. I can see it's going to be December 5th. You can see it on our website, but the actual publicity does not start going out until a week after Monday, I believe.
Okay.
Want to be the Dragon Master?
She's also
They already have one.
I know. That's
I
my
just get to
daughter
play.
wants to be a Dragon Master.
Alright. The Sunrise
You
Chair
could- you
Yoga has
could be
been
right
really
there.
popular
My
too,
daughter
so
wants
and
to
that's
be.
taking advantage of that World Yoga database that we're paying for.
Yeah.
Since we're paying for
We
it,
have a bunch
you
of
may as well
play, but
use it for a program.
Are there a
I've
lot
been
of
to
people? I thought I saw this. Here it is.
Like,
Oh wait, that's bowling yoga.
That is the same thing, yeah,
Okay.
it's, those are the people that are using it at home, so,
Oh,
which is
16.
really good,
Yeah,
we had
16
Yeah.
views.
yeah.
over this summer, do it and
it's pretty easy to do.
Is it?
Yeah.
She's got all the books. She's-
Yeah, I've done it for a couple decades now. I've played interspersely in between.
Building report?
Especially doing
Building
it.
report, knock on wood, everything has been, the heat came on when it was supposed to, I'll put it like that. And Sandy, I put it on special for you in here today.
Yes, I don't have my coat on.
It went on when it was supposed to, then we had some warm weather again, so we were able to get the air going again when we needed to, so everything, that's like the biggest fear of this building is that HVAC system, but we've had pretty good success, and Novus was just here today, doing a check if we had any computer issues. They hooked a Solstice up in the children's room for April to use now, so when she has story time in there, she sometimes streams like music for the kids in there, so she was doing it through the laptop and it just was not good sound quality, so they came in and did that, and
Okay. One thing, we seem to be doing a lot more with the schools.
yes, yes.
That's really good.
It's very good, yeah. And Scott and I are going to the Historical Society meeting in December. I can't remember
We
why.
have-
I
we
have to
have
ask
one-
Georgia to remind me. She's the one who asked me to go, but I don't remember why.
We have money for Scott too.
We do, and he's-
Money in addition.
He does have, it's like I keep telling him, like, Scott, tell me what you want. He's like, I know, but he does have some archival materials he
Okay,
would like,
good.
so.
Okay, I think that's, any comments, questions? Other than the budget, which took, we need to have a take, one thing that, when we did the, meeting for adding new directors, Doug made it clear that he wanted us to participate in the budget, and we've done that. Comments, not that we are the ones that come up with it, but that we have any comments or questions, we should be involved. I think we've done that.
Yeah.
So it'll be by the time we meet again next, it'll have been submitted, so, and then probably give them back to me. Again, but,
Good luck.
thank you.
And then you put in people in.
I will say it
Make
was
sure that
all,
we give
very
our-
reasonable
our-
last year,
Our
so.
library staff enough so that they don't leave us.
oh
ever.
God, I know. I have such a good staff right now, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay,
And 7 p.m. for next
Yes.
Next time, 7.
next time.
Hopefully
got here
traffic
for
will be
6,
light.
I was like,
No, look at that.
7:10, we're done at 7:10.
So, book sales, are they used books or they used?
Oh, they're used books, they're donated. In fact,
Okay,
there are a whole
that's what I
bunch of
thought.